Good morning, class. I hope you all are good. Children, we have completed our two chapters in history. I have also sent you the PDF of the two chapters of history. I hope you all must have completed your work in your history copy. Today we are going to start a new chapter in civics. The first chapter, our Constitution. Children, what do you mean by Constitution? Constitution means a system of laws and rules according to which the government of a country runs. It explains the three organs of the government: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. It explains their powers and functions, their mutual relations, their limitations. It also explains the rights and duties of the people. Being the supreme law of the land, everyone must respect the Constitution and act according to its provision. Now, why do we need a constitution? We need constitution because it generates a degree of trust and coordination necessary for different kinds of people to live together. It specifies the composition, powers, and functions of the government. It lays down limits of the powers of the government and describes the rights of the citizen. It also expresses the aspirations of the people about the society and the government. Now we will discuss about the making of the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India was drafted by the Constituent Assembly, which was set up under the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. The Constituent Assembly comprised of 389 members, but when the Muslim League decided to withdraw its candidates from the Constituent Assembly, its membership was reduced to 299 members. See, the Constituent Assembly met for the first time in New Delhi on December 9, 1946. And where did they meet? They met at the present Central Hall of the Parliament. And it was presided over by Dr. Sachinan Sinha on December 11, 1946. The Assembly elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as its permanent chairman. Who was elected as its permanent chairman? Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent chairman. The drafting committee was set up on 29 August 1947 under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to prepare the draft of the new constitution. See, the Constituent Assembly represented all sections of Indian society. It had important personalities such as Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Anglo-Indians were also represented. The Anglo-Indians were represented by Frank Anthony. The Parsis were represented by Dr. H.P. Modi. The chairman of the minorities committee was Dr. H.C. Mukherjee, who represented the Christians. See, there were also several important women members. Who were they? They were Sarojini Naidu, Rajkumari, Amrit Kaur and Vijayalakshmi Pandit. The Muslim community was also represented by Zafar Imam and Muhammad Sadullah. Adoption and enforcement. See, as we studied before, the Constituent Assembly began its work on December 9, 1946 and completed the work on 26 November 1942. It took 2 years, 11 months. It took 2 years, 11 months and 17 days to complete its work. The Constitution was adopted and declared as passed on November 26, 1949, and the Constitution as a whole came into force on 26 January 1950. Republic Day is celebrated on 26 January every year to commemorate this day. The date 26 January has a special significance in the history of Indian freedom struggle. On December 29, 1929, the Congress had passed a resolution at its Lahore session declaring Purna Swaraj and its goal. It then decided to celebrate 26 January as Independence Day every year. Children, now we will discuss the preamble to the Constitution. What is preamble? Preamble is an introductory part of the Constitution but not an operative part of the Constitution. The preamble declares India a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. The preamble gives to the people justice, liberty, equality, fraternity and integrity. See, now main ideals or objectives of the Indian Republic as set forth in the preamble to the Constitution of India. Now for the first thing we will discuss is what is sovereign. A nation is sovereign when it is free in its internal matters and there is no foreign interference. Its external policy is also guided by its own interest and not by any superpower. See, by declaring India sovereign, the makers of the Constitution have thrown away all the yokes of foreign dominance. It is no longer a colony of the British Empire. Now we will discuss about the socialist. In the preamble, the word socialist denotes freedom from all forms of exploitation such as social, economic and political. Now we will discuss about secular. What does secular means? Secular means that all religion command equal respect and recognition from the state. In India, no discrimination is ever made against any individual because of his religion. All the people in India forming different groups, sects, communities, etc. are free to process any religion of their choice. Everybody is equal before law and enjoys equal rights, no matter to which faith, caste, color or creed he or she belongs. Now we will discuss about democratic. What does democratic mean? Democratic means that the people of India govern themselves through regularly elected bodies like the parliament, state legislatures and local bodies. People elect their representatives who rule on their behalf. Republic. A republic means a form of government in which the head of the state is not hereditary but is directly or indirectly elected by the people. In India, the head of the state, that is the president, is indirectly elected by the directly elected members of the parliament and the state legislative assemblies. Now we will discuss about justice. Justice is the quality of treating everybody equally without any privilege or prejudice. It ensures it gives equal opportunities for everyone and gives to everyone what is his due. Justice should not be limited, but it should be all pervading, touching the social, economic and political fields. Now, what is liberty? The term liberty means freedom. Liberty means freedom. So, we should have liberty, or we should have freedom in what? We should have liberty of freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Every citizen should be free to hold any belief and express his views freely. He can choose any religion of his choice and can worship in any ways he likes. Equality. See, there can be no liberty without equality. If there is no equality, there can be no liberty. So the preamble of Indian Constitution also lays emphasis on equality along with liberty. All are equal before law and enjoy equal opportunities for their advancement. Now we will discuss fraternity. What do you mean by fraternity? Fraternity means brotherhood. See, liberty, equality and fraternity was the slogan first raised by the French revolutionaries in France. The makers of the Indian Constitution were much influenced by this slogan, so they adopted it as the ultimate goal of the Indian Constitution. One may belong to any part of the country. See, a person may belong to any part of the country, but he is an Indian first. No matter whether he is Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever he is, but he is an Indian first, then Hindu, Muslim or Christian afterwards. Integrity. It means that each and every part of the country is an integral part of India. See, no one should play with the respect and honor of a country. If anyone plays with the integrity of the country, he will have to pay for it, which means he will be punished severely. If anyone who plays with the integrity of the country. Now we will discuss the need or importance of the preamble. The preamble has a great importance of its own because it makes the intentions of our constitution quite clear through the following points. It envisages or predicts justice, social, economic and political for all the citizens of the Republic. It ensures all types of freedom necessary for the individual, that is, freedom of thought and expression, freedom of faith, freedom of belief and of worship, etc. It strives for equality of status and opportunity to all individuals and safeguard their dignity irrespective of their religious belief or sect. It promotes a sense of brotherhood among all the citizens. Unity and integrity of the nation is the chief goal of the efforts of the government. See, thus we find that the preamble to our constitution is the real index to the provisions to come in the constitution of the Republic of India. Children, with this we complete our chapter. I hope you all have understood it. Please make a separate register for civics. I will be sending you the PDF also. Note down all the question answers, complete all your work of history and civics as the school will reopen. Your copies are going to be checked. Thank you.